Anyway.
No.
Hi guys, this is Michelle with Hey guys, this is Michelle, aka Pink House. I hope this video finds you well. I know there's a lot of craziness in the world going on today, but I think if we can use this energy to get creative and to find things that fill our cup back up, even though what's going on around us feels really heavy, I think we can use this time wisely and really help to get us through this in a positive way. But I am teaming up with Melissa of Future Makers down at Ferguson's downtown to bring you an at-home craft that you can do with your kids. Both of you can do individually, the whole family can do. We're going to make dream catchers today. It's really fun, it's therapeutic, and I think it's a good symbol of positivity that you can bring into your house. And maybe to catch all the negative energy that you feel around you. So, if you've purchased a kit from Future Makers, what comes in the kit is a little embroidery hoop, and you get some yarn, some floss yarn that we're going to use to do the center of the dream catcher, which is the hardest part, but it's really not that hard. You also get some yarn to do the strings at the bottom, and some cool tape that you can wrap your hoop in. And also too, you can literally find anything around your house to put on the dream catcher. Sometimes I like to put these little doilies inside of the hoop. It makes for a really pretty center of the dream catcher if you didn't feel like doing the weaving yourself. I personally like the weaving, but this is also a good substitute. I like to put little feathers on mine. I'm going to use these pink and purple feathers today, and maybe some of these blue soft ones. And then I also have different color floss that you can make tassels out of. I can show you how to do those as well. Those are really simple. And then I have a bunch of yarn around my house that I'll probably use to do little strings at the bottom. Dream catchers they can be one of a kind. They don't have to look like any certain way. It's however you choose to create it. I think first I'll show you how to do the weaving in the center. Everybody seems to be intimidated by this, but it's really not that hard. So you'll start by unscrewing the screw at the top of the embroidery hoop. You'll take the center piece out, okay, and then take a little bit off of the ring. Okay, so you're going to take one end and do not break the hoop, which I almost did. You're going to tie it right up here at the top. Actually, I'm using the wrong one. You're going to use the inner ring. Okay, so you're going to tie it right at the top. Also too, while you're making these, it's good to light some candles. If you have some incense or some Palo Santo or sage, something along those lines, just to set the tone for yourself and for the dream catcher, to put a positive intention into it. It'll just help you to calm your mind, calm your surroundings, and keep that energy in your dream catcher when you go to hang it up. Okay, so I tied it, just double knotted. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, actually I'm going to cut a good amount of this yarn because I don't want it to be attached to this when I start weaving. Doesn't really, just a good amount, probably like, that's really long, but I just want to be safe. Okay, take that to the side. Alright, so when you go to start weaving it, I brought it through the front. Okay. I'm gonna wrap it around. Now you want these to be evenly spaced, so I'm gonna space the little rungs, the U shapes on the outside. I want them to be all evenly spaced. So I'm gonna do it about that far apart, maybe about an inch or so. Okay. I'm gonna wrap it around the top, and then I'm gonna pull the string. I want you guys to see it. So I wrapped it around the top, and I'm gonna pull it back through the front. See how I did that? So I wrapped it around and then back through. Okay, and then I'm going to not do a knot, but what I'm gonna do is to secure this, I'm gonna put the string through this hoop, through that hole. My fingers aren't working today. Through the hole. Let me see so you guys can see this. Through the hole again. So I went forward and then I brought it back through, but instead of bringing it on the top of the embroidery hoop, I put it through this hole. So now you see it's created a somewhat knot right there. I don't know if you can see. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing all the way around. I'm gonna make this a little smaller. And this just takes practice. If you find yourself getting frustrated that it's not working, just keep trying. If you have to, take it all out. 'Cause sometimes I'll mess up and I'll just have to take it all out and do it again. But you know, we have all the time in the world right now. It seems with this quarantine. So use that time to just be with yourself. There's no rush, especially when you're making something like this. That's not the intention. Okay, so I got it about an inch apart. Now I'm going to do the same thing all the way around. So I'm gonna wrap it. Just gotta secure this part. Okay, now I'm gonna wrap it around. I cut too long of a string. Wrap it through this way. And then I'm gonna put it through the hole. See if I can get closer so you guys can see. Through the hole. Yes. And it's secure. It also helps too, sometimes I will use some hot glue to glue these parts so that I won't have to worry about them moving. Once you get all the way around and you start wrapping through here, it'll just secure it itself automatically and you won't have to worry about it moving so much. There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna go around again. Through the hole, or around the hoop I mean, and then through the hole. I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, there's also a bunch of resources online. That's how I learned. You can go on Pinterest and just look how to weave the middle of a dream catcher, and maybe there's pictures that will help you. That's what I did. If this is a little confusing. Okay, so around the hoop. Okay, and then I'm going to put it through the hole, back around this way. See how they're evenly spaced? Around. I don't know why my fingers are being very fidgety today. Around the hoop and through the hole. Okay, now I have one more. And through the hole. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little little things. Okay, now after this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna wrap, do the same method, but instead of around the hoop, you're gonna wrap it through the center of each of these little rings. I don't know what to call these, yes, those things. Okay, so through the center of the first one, I'm gonna pull it through. Through the center of the second one, pull it through, and I'm doing this all the same direction, okay? So I'm bringing it towards me and then pulling out the other direction, if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. So you see how it's starting to create that dream catcher weaved look through. Ooh. And you want to pull it as you're going along so it tightens up. Pull it through. See, I'm going through the center of each of them. Now this one last one, pull it through the center. Beautiful. Okay, there you go. Oh, looks like my knot up here is starting to come undone. So I think at this point I can put it back inside of this embroidery hoop so it stays nice and tight, so I don't lose the tension on it. Make sure your string isn't stuck in there. Put it through the hole. And I'm going to put my little screw back through. Am I doing this the right way? I think it's supposed to be this way. Yes. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. Tighten that. Don't tighten it too much or else it'll break on you, which I've done before. Okay, there you go. Now you can start really pulling it tight and you don't have to worry about it coming undone. Through the center. Okay, so now we did through the center of all the outer rings. So now the innermost ring, you see the center of these strings. Does that make sense? The innermost string that you just did, you're going to start stringing the string through the center of these now. Okay? Don't go back and put them through the center of the outer ones because it'll create this weird pattern. You want to keep bringing it inward and inward, kind of like a spiral. So through this hole. Through this hole. Keep pulling it tight through this hole. It looks confusing, but the more you do it, it's so simple once you get the hang of it. Through this hole. See how it's creating an even smaller ring now? Through this one. Through this one. Excuse my little brother. He's a crazy person. Okay, now we have an even smaller hole. Let me get this up so you can see. Alright. See, now the innermost strings right here is where you're going to put it through. Okay. Or you could just end it right here if you wanted to. But I'm going to go even further. I'm really curious to know how other people are getting creative with their time at home right now. Really the whole world. I think it's, if you can, everything's how you perceive it. So you can take this time just to spend time with your family, to do things you've never done before, read books you've been wanting to read for a long time, fill your mind with positive things, not just the news, and yeah, be with your kids, the kiddos that are doing this right now. You have an incredible imagination. Use that imagination and share it with your parents. So we need a lot of that right now. Okay, through this hole. Probably for the kiddos, the parents are gonna have to help with this part because this is a little advanced for them and their little fingers, but it's fun to do with them for sure. Okay, and do it one more time. Do this little baby hole. It'll go through. These embroidery hoops help a lot though because they keep it nice and secure. Okay, hold it tight. And there you go. Now you can tie it to one of these in here. I like to put a little bead on it too, just to close it off. So, where are my beads? I have just these cute little simple beads that I'm going to use. This purple one. Oh, that's white. Ta-da! Or should I use blue? No, purple. I did cut way too much string, but that's okay. It's always good to be safe, rather than having to tie it. Okay, my little bead. And now I'm just gonna tie this to one of the innermost, lost my bead. To the innermost ring. That's not the innermost ring. This is your. Actually. Okay. Just do a little double knot in there. This part's a little tricky. But just take your time. No rush. Might help it too if you want to glue it instead of tying it. I've definitely done that before. Just make sure you use a good quality glue or else it won't stay very long. Okay, so I've tied it. I tied it about 4 times so I know it's secure. I'm gonna cut off this extra string. Need a little bit. I do. Just so you can tuck it into the bead if you want. Not gonna worry about that right now. Okay, so now is where you can do whatever you want, really. I think I'm going to take, you can use the yarn that was provided to you. I'll cut a little string off of that. And you can tie it just like this. You can glue it, or you can even put it, you can take it out of the embroidery hoop and put it in the inner hoop so it'll secure that way so you don't have to worry about gluing or tying. Or you can either do it in half like this, and You can, either way, it's the bottom or the top, doesn't matter. Put it through, and then pull these strings through, and that secures itself just like that. I personally like this myself. I prefer that, but either way, yeah. So there's my first little string. You could also take these cool little tapes, these pattern tapes that were provided, and wrap it around your hoop so you can give it a cool little decoration. Sometimes I also take the yarn and I'll wrap it around like this so it makes it nice and soft. If you like the wood, just go ahead and leave it. Also, I have glued some flowers on here, some artificial flowers that look really nice. I think I'm gonna take some of this cool yarn that I have. This is where if you're a craft hoarder like me, then all this comes in handy. That's how I justify it. Where's the end? I'm just gonna cut a piece from here. I like these colors, so it's a little long. And usually with the Dreamcatcher, you want to taper it so that one end, the middle is longer and it goes up, but really it's up to you how you'd prefer to do it. There's no rhyme or reason, no right way to do it, no wrong way to do it. Just let your creativity go. It's a cute little. Do the other side. Nice and cute. And then you can take your cute little feathers. I don't have my glue with me right now. I didn't bring my glue gun and turn it on. But what you can do is wrap the string or the yarn around the feathers, the end of the feather, like this. That's nice and cute. And you can tie it, which I'm gonna do, or you can glue it. Either way works. I'm gonna tie mine. Yeah. Cute little feather. Probably do another one down below it. You can do them on the ends. You can even put little tassels on the ends. Yeah, the tassels are super easy to make too. I can show you that real quick. I'm going to take this little business card and some of this floss that I have, and all you do is just wrap it around like this. Wrap it, wrap it, wrap it, wrap it. So that'll be one about that. Cut it. Actually, did you cut it? No, you didn't cut it. I'm going to cut it a little bit longer. Okay, and then you're just going to wrap it through that hole. See it. Put through a couple times. Okay, and then I'm going to do a little loop at the top so I have something to hang it with. And then I'm going to wrap it through one more time. It's groovy. Put through and one more again. So I wrapped it through about 4 times so it's secure with this little loop, okay? And then before you cut it or do anything to it, you're gonna pull a business card out or whatever you're using. You can, this determines the size of the tassel. So you can use, sometimes I use my phone to do that. I'm gonna cut these. And then you'll tie this leftover string to one of these little baby strings. Which one do you do? Or wait, before you do that, so you have these two halves, right, that you cut. You're gonna close those, and then you're gonna take this string that you made this loop with, and you're just gonna wrap it around like this. Wrap it, wrap it. There, so it creates that cute little tassel look. And now you'll tie it to one of the little strings to secure it. And you'll cut off the excess so it matches the length of these, and you have yourself a little tassel. And you can put it anywhere you want. You can put it on the dream catcher like this, on the ends. I'll probably put mine right here. Where'd that come from? Just like I did the other ones. Pull it in. Pull it through. And there you have it, people, ladies and gentlemen, kiddos of all ages. My dream catcher, my unfinished dream catcher. I'll probably take a picture of it once it's done. But yeah, any way you want to make it, it doesn't matter. And then you can hang this above your bed. You can hang it anywhere around your house as just a reminder to stay positive. And smile and spread love to everyone around you. Give elbow fives to people, foot fives. Yeah, the world needs some love right now. And you can, this will be a symbol of that in your house. Good energy. But thank you for watching. I hope this helps you, and I hope you find some joy in it. All right, see you next time.